To those who are present, good afternoon. I will begin the webinar for today's session in approximately 2 minutes. So please bear with me while I wait for others to join, and I will start the webinar in 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar entitled Direct Entry and Exemption 2024-2025. Now, as usual, please feel free to type your questions on the chat box as I go through the presentation slides. Yeah. Now, to begin with, let's look at the purpose, or the aims of today's webinar. Now, the purpose of this session is to ensure that students who have relevant prior qualifications or learning experiences are placed into suitable stages of a program or are granted exemptions from specific modules, all while upholding academic integrity and streamlining the application process. In this webinar, we will look at the following. Firstly, to clarify eligibility. Now, this is to identify the qualifications, certifications, or prior learning experiences that qualify students for direct entry into any stage of a program or for exemptions from specific modules or programs. Secondly, we will look at the support center administrators. Now, this will equip centers with the required information and documentation to guide their students through the direct entry and exemption processes, enabling administrators to submit accurate and complete applications. Next, to have a standardized process. So here, we need to establish clear guidelines for the submission, review, and approval of direct entry and exemption applications to ensure consistency across centers and prevent discrepancies. This is followed by facilitating efficient admission. So basically, NCC Education, we would like to simplify the admission process for students with relevant prior learning or qualifications, enabling them to skip certain modules or start at a more advanced level, thus shortening the time required to complete their studies. Okay, and finally, to ensure quality assurance. Okay, so basically, what we want is to ensure academic integrity and uphold institutional standards by granting direct entry or exemptions only to students with appropriate qualifications, guaranteeing that all students meet the required academic criteria. Now, the following NCC education qualifications are available for direct entry and exemptions. So here you will notice we have level 3, okay, the 3 programs in level 3, which is the level 3 IFD, level 3 DC, and level 3 diploma in business. Then we have level 4. These are the 3 programs in level 4. Level 4 DC with business management, level 4 diploma in computing, level 4 diploma in business. Then we have level 5. Okay, so this will include level 5 DC and the specialisms, which will include business management, cybersecurity and data science, okay, and level 5 diploma in business. Now, then we also have exemptions or direct entry into level 6, okay, the BSc honors in business computing and information systems, okay, level 6 BSc honors in cybersecurity and networking, and the level 7 diploma in business, level 7 diploma in business management. Okay, now these are the direct entry. Okay, I've already discussed this, okay, with all centers during my inductions. Those centers that are registered for level 3, level 4, level 5, okay, uh, level 7. Okay, now we have discussed all the entry requirements. So here, now for the level 3 IFD, so these are the direct entry requirements whereby students must have completed the GCSE or the IGCSE O levels or an equivalent qualification, okay, in your own country. And they must have passed 5 subjects with a minimum grade of C, 4, or equivalent in each. Now, from the 5 subjects, 2 of these subjects must include mathematics and English. However, students without a C or a 4 or equivalent in English, now they should have a valid score of 4.5 or above in the International English Language Testing System, which is IELTS, or equivalent for students whose first language is not English. Okay, so there are quite a number of countries where English is not taught as a first language. Then these students must produce an IELTS of 4.5. However, students have an alternative, and that is they can take the free NCC education standard English placement test, which will be administered by the partner center. So this would be the level 3 IFD entry requirements. Now for level 3 DC and level 3 DB, okay, these are the following entry requirements. GCSE or IGCSE O levels or equivalent. However, students must have passed 4 subjects. So for the IFD, it would be 5 subjects, but for level 3 diploma in computing and level 3 diploma in business, students must have passed 4 subjects with a minimum grade of C, 4, or equivalent. Now, English and mathematics should be included, okay, in those 4 subjects. Now, there are instances where a student achieves a lower score in mathematics. So these students will then be required to pass a mathematics placement test that is set by the center in order to achieve the minimum mark. And the minimum mark will be 40. So please take note, if a student does not have a C or a 4 in mathematics, then these students will take a mathematics placement test that is set by the center. Now, NCC Education also provides samples of mathematics placement tests that can be used. So anyone who wants these mathematics placement tests, please drop me an email and I will share samples of these mathematics placement tests. Okay, now please note that if your center, if your center prepares the mathematics placement tests, then you would have to send, this test to the ASM, to me, and this will be verified and approved by the head of academics. We want to ensure that the standard, the standard of the questions that the center sets is in line with the mathematics placement test that NCC Education requires. Now, for students who do not have a GCSE or O levels uh, credit in English, a C or a 4 in English, then they must have a valid score of 5.5 or above in IELTS examination. Okay, so for level 3 DC, level 3 DB, the IELTS will be 5.5 and not 4.5. Now, alternatively, students can take and pass the free NCC Education higher English placement tests. So for the IFD program, it will be the standard English placement test. However, for level 3 DC and level 3 DB, students must take the higher English placement test, and this would also be administered by the partner centers. Okay, now ideally, the level 3 diploma in computing and the level 3 diploma in business is suitable for students who are aged between 16 to 19, as well as adult learners. Now, the entry requirements for level 4, these are all the units, all the programs in level 4. You have level 4 DC, level 4 DCBM, and level 4 diploma in business. Now, these are the entry requirements. So we have students who have completed the level 3 International Foundation Diploma. Now, these students will be accepted for direct entry into level 4 DC for all the 3 programs. Okay, now students who have also completed level 3 Diploma in Computing. Now, only for students who have completed NCC Education's level 3 Diploma in Computing will be accepted into all the level 4 programs. That is level 4 Diploma in Computing, level 4 Diploma in Computing with Business Management, and level 4 Diploma in Business. However, if a student has completed level 3 Diploma in Business, then the students will only be accepted, will only be entitled to take NCC Education's level 4 Diploma in Business and level 4 Diploma in Computing with Business Management. So in other words, any student who has completed level 3 Diploma in Business will not be allowed into level 4 Diploma in Computing. Okay, for this program, there are only 2 options available, and that is the level 4 Diploma in Business and the level 4 Diploma in Computing with Business Management. Now, for level 4 entry, we will also accept local or international qualification, which is deemed to be of similar level to NCC Education's level 4 DC or level 4 DB. However, this must be agreed with NCC Education in advance, where the center would have to forward the student's certification and the academic transcript to me, okay? And this needs to be verified, checked, and approved by the head of academics. Another entry level or entry requirement will be students who have completed one A-level pass or equivalent. Okay, so any student who comes with one A-level, now they are also deemed to be accepted into the level 4 program. For mature students, now these students must be able to demonstrate over 2 years of relevant work experience, and they must have an O-levels GCSE or IGCSE with English and mathematics or equivalent. So centers, if you have any matured students, working adults who wants direct entry into level 4, then what you need to do is you need to provide the ASM with the student's CV, okay, with the student's curriculum vitae, okay, and also provide us with the O levels GCSE or the IGCSE certification and the results. Okay, this will be checked, and then approval will be given once we are satisfied with the student's working experience and also the academic uh, the academic results. Okay, now please take note for the final one. Okay, candidates whose first language is not English, the students must have an IELTS of 5.5, or alternatively, the students can take NCC Education's higher English placement tests. Yeah, so this would be the entry requirements for level 4. Now for the level 5 pathway, okay, the level 5 DC pathway. So here we accept students, okay, who have completed NCC's level 4 diploma in computing. Right now, this is only for the level 5 DC pathway. Students must have completed level 4 diploma in computing. So if a student has completed a level 4 diploma in computing with business management, and they want to switch to the level 5 diploma in computing, now this will not be permitted. Okay, so it's level 4 diploma in computing to level 5 diploma in computing. All students can be accepted if they have a local or international qualification, which is deemed to be of similar level to NCC Education's level 4 DC. So this is where the center would have to prepare the direct entry and exemptions document. Okay, so the direct entry and exemptions document for level 4 DC, the center would have to complete, okay, all the units that, okay, is being requested uh, for exemption or for direct entry. So this must be agreed with NCC Education in advance. Now, if English is not the first language, then the students will need to obtain a valid score of 5.5 in IELTS, or alternatively, again, the students will take the free NCC Education Higher English Placement tests. So this is for the level 5 DC pathway. Now, for the level 5 diploma in business, okay, I think this is quite straightforward. Students or holders of level 4 diploma in business. Okay, only students who have completed level 4 diploma in business will be allowed into level 5, will have direct entry into level 5 diploma in business. Okay, otherwise, holders of any local or international qualifications, now this must be deemed to be equivalent to level 4 DB. So again, the direct entry and exemptions document for level 4 DB must be completed by the center. The center must provide us with all the relevant documents. I will be discussing about the relevant documents, okay, in the later slides. Okay, so students whose first language is not English, IELTS of 5.5, or students take the higher English placement test, and they must score a minimum of 40 marks. That is the passing mark for the higher English placement tests. Now, finally, the level 7 DBM. Okay, now the entry requirements, we have 3 routes. So the first one is the academic route. Now, for the academic route, the students must have an honors degree in a relevant subject area from a UK university or equivalent award from a non-UK university. So if, for example, if a student has completed a degree, okay, in your home country, then this needs to be checked on in terms of the equivalency. If the degree that is awarded, okay, by a university in the home country, in your home country, is equivalent to the standards of the UK university. Now, then we have the route, the second route. Okay, so this is a combination. Okay, an honors degree, however, in a non-relevant subject. Okay, so when we say relevant subject, so it must be based on business management or business, okay, a degree in business, a degree in business management. Okay, however, for students, okay, without a degree in business or business management, then we will consider them under Route 2, okay, whereby the students have an honors degree in a non-relevant subject, okay, from a UK university or from a non-UK university. However, the students must have 3 years management experience in a relevant area. Okay, so the relevant area will include, okay, their responsibility for resources such as staffing, finance, physical, or a combination of these. So students who want to join the level 7 DBM, okay, through Route 2, now then the students would have to submit their CV, okay, together with their certification, which is the degree in a non-relevant subject. Now this will be checked, and then NCC Education will, okay, provide an answer as to whether the student is accepted into the level 7 DBM program. Now, the third route, of course, would be the management experience. Okay, so if a student does not have an honors degree, then we will accept these students if they have 5 years management experience in a relevant industry or area. Okay, so the CV of the student, okay, must be submitted to the ASM, okay, and then this will be checked, okay, and this will be approved by the head of academics. Now, in addition to either Route 1, 2, or 3, the students must have an IELTS score of 6.5 or above if the degree is not taught or examined in English. So if it's taught and examined in English, then this is not, okay, this is not a requirement. However, any degree level qualification that is not taught in English or examined in English, students must provide an IELTS score of 6.5. Okay, alternatively, the student can also provide us with the Oxford test of English. Okay, this is recognized for acceptance onto NCC Education's program. Okay, so this is an affordable, personalized test that fits you. Okay, and this test is 100% online, flexible, fast, and available at approved test centers across the globe. Yeah, so these are the direct entry routes for level 3, level 4, level 5, and level 7. Now, next we will look at, okay, we will look at the conditions when applying for standard credit exemptions authorized by NCC Education. Now, please note, NCC Education grants exemptions for certain qualifications up to a maximum of 60 credits. So if a program is 120 credits, then we will grant exemptions only up to 60 credits, and the students will be required to take the remaining 60 credits in order to be conferred the diploma. Now, for level 3 DC and level 3 DB, the total credits will be 60 credits. So therefore, we will only provide exemptions up to 30 credits. Okay, and the student would have to take the remaining 30 credits in order to be conferred the diploma. Now, candidates must apply for exemptions before registering for a unit. In the past, we had cases whereby after the students have taken the assessments, they failed the assessment, okay, and then the students come forward and say, oh, I want to apply for an exemption. Now, once the students have already taken the examination and they have failed, now this will be refused by NCC Education. Okay. Now, centers should refer to the direct entry and exemptions document to verify whether a qualification is eligible for credit exemptions and to determine which units are applicable. Exemption requests from individual candidates will not be accepted directly. So the ASM will not accept any exemption requests or direct entry and exemptions document directly from the students. Students must go through the center. Okay, so it is the role and the responsibility of the center to complete the direct entry and exemptions document and forward to the ASM. This will be checked, verified by the ASM, okay, and then it will be sent to the head of academics for the final approval. Okay, so regional ASMs, we will provide our recommendation to the head of academics. The head of academics will then review the recommendation. Okay, and if it is accepted, then approval will be given. Now, centers should complete the CSU _10_7 exemption claim forms. Okay, this is available. Okay, this is available on NCC Education's Quartz portal. Okay, and it has to be submitted via email to the regional customer support executive. Okay, so please do not submit to the ASM once the exemptions are granted. Now, then the center would need to complete this exemption claim forms document. It's called a CSU 10-7 exemption claim form. Complete this form and then submit to the customer, to your regional customer support executive. Now, a copy of the candidate's original certificate must also be provided as proof of the qualification. Now, here is a sample. Okay, so this is a sample of the exemption claim form that centers can download from the Quartz portal. Okay, so this exemption claim form is after the ASM and the head of academics have already approved the unit exemption or for direct entry into the next level. Yeah. So centers should submit only the certificates, okay, only the certificates pertinent to the exemption request. Now, if the candidate is already registered with NCC Education, they should include the candidate's NCC Education ID number in the appropriate field of the exemption claim form. So if I go back to the exemption claim form, if the student, okay, so you will see part C, candidate claimant details. So if the student is already registered with NCC, then the center must state the candidate's ID number. Now, if the student has not been registered, then only the full name of the candidate will be included. NCC Education will confirm receipt by either accepting the request or addressing any outstanding issues until they are resolved. The credit exemption will be applied immediately or held in a pending file until NCC Education receives the registration via Quartz. So, okay, it's not an automatic process. So what the center would need to do is the center would need to complete, okay, that exemption form, okay, the exemption claim form, okay, and then you need to, okay, get it approved. Now, please note, there will be no reduction in fees given should a candidate be granted a credit exemption. Okay, so again, in the past, we have received, queries from centers that students have been exempted from 3 units. They only need to take the remaining 3 units. So will they receive a 50% reduction in fees? Okay, now there will be no reduction in fees. The student would have to pay the full fee, okay, as stated in the contract. Okay, so if you have any further queries about the fees, then please get in touch with your business development manager. Now, here is a sample of qualifications where the holder will be granted direct entry to level 4 diploma in computing with business management. I'm just showing you one example. Now, okay, so you will be able to see that if a student has completed the Association of Business Executive level 4 diploma in business management, then these students, okay, will be exempted. Okay, so these are the qualifications which we have already mapped. So any students who come with these qualifications, like for example, if a student comes with Pearson International Limited, now they have level 3 diploma in ICT professional competence, or BTech level 3 diploma in communication, or BTech level 3 diploma in ICT systems and principles. Now, automatically these students will be accepted for direct entry onto level 4 DCBM. Now, these qualifications are only for direct entry into level 4 diploma in computing with business management. Okay, a list of direct entry and unit exemptions are available for different NCC education qualifications. Now, you will be able to download it from our website. Okay, if you go to NCC Education's website, you will be able to download the latest direct entry and exemptions document, where we have a list of all the qualifications, okay, for direct entry. And we also have a list of unit exemption, okay, meaning for level 4 DCBM, for certain qualification, only 1 or 2 units have been exempted. So the units are clearly indicated in the document. Okay, now, as I mentioned, okay, this can be downloaded from NCC Education's website, Quartz portal, and the virtual learning environment. Okay, the document will provide a guide on NCC Education's pre-approved qualifications. Okay, now center. Okay, so this is an example of where you can get it from, the VLE. So centers can go to the VLE under center support. Okay, so go to center support, click on policies and guidance. Okay, now under policies and guidance, okay, so under guidance, click on direct entry and exemption. Okay, so here it shows 23, 24. Okay, but we have uploaded the 24-25, okay, direct entry and exemptions list. Okay, so once you click on that link, you will be able to view the pre-approved qualifications. Now, for students seeking exemptions from level 3 DB, as I mentioned earlier, for level 3 DB and level 3 DC, the total credit is 60 credits. So the maximum exemptions granted to an individual candidate shall not exceed 50% of the programs of the total program credit. Okay, so therefore, if the total credit for level 3 DB is 60 credits, students will only be granted 30 credits, okay, and they will be conferred or they will be awarded the diploma. Okay, now, if the students do not want the diploma, okay, let's say, for example, out of the 5 units, the students have received, okay, a total of 4 units exemption. Now, the students only want to take the remaining 1 unit. Now, if the student takes the remaining 1 unit, then the student will only be awarded a stand-alone certificate. The student will not be conferred with the diploma. Okay, so to receive the diploma in level 3, the student must have completed 50%, okay, of the units. Right, now this is for exemptions to from NCC's level 3 DB. Now for level 3 IFD, so those students seeking exemption, the maximum exemption granted to an individual candidate shall not exceed 50% of the program credit total. So for the level 3 IFD, the total credit will be 120 credits. So therefore, NCC Education will only grant 60 credits. They will only grant 60 credits. The students would have to take the remaining 60 credits in order to convert the diploma or certification. Okay. Now, please note that all approved DELS exemption requests will receive the equivalent mark, okay, from the exempted qualification. This mark will be included in the final calculation of the candidate's grade. Okay, so this is based on DELS. Now, students applying for direct entry to an NCC education program, the following must be completed. Okay, so please take note. I will now go through what needs to be completed by the center on behalf of the student, okay, when they are applying for direct entry to an NCC education's program. Now, centers should fill out the appropriate AQ04 new exemption. Okay, so please take note. Okay, this is a different document. This is called the direct entry and exemptions document. Okay, so it is AQ04 new exemption direct entry route request form. Okay, for candidates who wish to apply for any NCC education program for direct entry. Now, these candidates with a qualification that is recognized for direct entry to an NCC education program must complete the form and include a copy of their qualification certificate and their academic transcript. Okay, the document, now this document, the AQ04, new exemption direct entry route request form, can be found on Quartz, on the Quartz portal and the NCC Education website. Now, the completed form, along with all supporting documents, should be submitted to the Regional Academic Standards Manager for verification. Okay, so please take note, the direct entry and exemptions form should not be sent to the customer support, the CSE, or anyone else, the BDM. This completed document must be forwarded only to the regional academic standards manager. Okay, so we have different regions. In different regions, we have different academic standards manager. Okay, so for my region, which is Southeast Asia, South Asia, and East Asia, now this completed document will be forwarded to me. Okay, and then what I will do is I will review the document together with all the supporting documents. Okay, and I will then provide my recommendation to the head of academics for the final approval. Now, centers, you may also reach out to your academic standards manager to obtain the document. So if you cannot locate the document in Quartz or the website, then please get in touch with me. You can drop me an email, but please let me know which direct entry document you are requesting, because for each qualification, we have one direct entry request form. Okay, so starting from level 3 right up to level 7. Okay, so each qualification, there is one direct entry request form. So if you can send me an email and mention, okay, in your email, just let me know which qualification, then I will forward that document to you. Okay, now in due time, please take note, in due time, part of the document will be completed online on Quartz, while the remainder can be downloaded. Now, this downloadable section must be filled out and sent to the regional ASM. Okay, so at the moment, we are still using the form. Okay, the form should be sent to the ASM, but in future, okay, part of this document, okay, will be completed online on Quartz. Okay, so you go to forms and documents, you download, then, there's a process that needs to be followed. Now, when it is ready for completion on Quartz, there will be an announcement that will be sent to all centers, okay, with regards to how to fill in this or how to complete this document, okay, online. Now, candidates with a qualification, okay, candidates with qualification, sorry, now those who are applying for direct entry to an NCC education program. Now, earlier I did mention that those that are not listed in the direct entry and exemptions document earlier, okay, which has been pre-approved. Okay, now those that are not listed, okay, then what you would have to do is you will be required to submit the direct entry form, and this submission must include the following supporting documentation. Okay, so please take note. These documents must be included together with the direct entry and exemption form. Okay, so the program and or unit learning outcome, the full syllabus or course outline, statement of guided or non-guided learning hours. Okay, so this is the TQT. Sample assessments. Now, if you do not have sample assessments, that's fine. Okay, but what is important is, okay, along with the form, the program learning outcomes, details of the syllabus, the full details of the syllabus and the course outline. Okay, the guided learning hours. Okay, then you have statement of approval from local regulator or government. Okay, a copy of the qualification certificate awarded to the candidate, as well as the academic transcript. Okay, the academic transcript is very important because we need to know if the student has completed that unit and passed that unit. Any student that has gone through the unit but they have not passed the assessment. Now, we will not be accepted for either exemptions or for direct entry. Okay, so please take note. These are the supporting documentation that must be included together with the direct entry and exemptions document. For non-standard, okay, for non-standard credit exemption not authorized by NCC Education, now centers are required to complete the following document. So the relevant AQ04 non-standard exemption direct entry route request form. Now this can be accessed on the Quartz portal or obtained from me or the regional academic standards manager. The submitted form must include supporting documentation that provides complete details of the qualification that is being considered for exemption. So this is for unit exemption. Okay, earlier it was for direct entry, but here, if a student has completed, let's say year one, okay, year one in a university, and the student is requesting for, okay, one or two units of one or two modules, okay, of credit exemption. Now then, okay, what the student would need to provide are the following documents. So again, you have the program and unit learning outcomes, the syllabus or the course outline, the statement of guided, okay, or non-guided learning hours. Now, if you do not have, again, as I mentioned, if you do not have the sample assessments, that's fine. Statement of approval from local regulator or government. Now, if you're not able to obtain this, then okay, it's fine. Okay, but a copy of the academic transcript and qualification certificate awarded to the candidate. Okay, now it is essential, so please take note, it is essential that centers complete the appendix for the units that are requested either for unit exemptions or for direct entry. Okay, so once this document is completed, now please forward the document to the ASM. Okay, this will be checked, verified, approved. Okay, and then we will reply. Okay, the ASM will reply formally, either granting the exemption or refusing the request. So here is a sample of the non-standard direct entry or exemption request form. So this is just one of the pages. Okay, there are about 4 or 5 pages, depending on the number of units. Okay, so each qualification will have a separate form, as I mentioned earlier. So you will have, for let's say level 3 diploma in business, there will be one set of forms. Level 4 diploma in computing, there will be one different set of forms. Okay, so if you are requesting for unit exemption or direct entry, please drop me an email, or you can go into the Quartz website, okay, Quartz portal, and download it. Now, if you can't find it, then just send me an email. I will forward the relevant documents to you. Okay, so each qualification will have a separate form, okay, which of course is available on the Quartz portal. Now, what the centers need to complete will be section A. So you will see section A here to be completed by the center, and the appendix. Okay, I'm not able to show the appendix, but okay, once you have completed this section, then you have section B, section B. Now, section B will be completed by the ASM and also by the head of academics. Now, below that will be the appendix. Okay, under the appendix, you will have all the units. Okay, all the units for that program. So if you're requesting for direct entry, then you need to complete the equivalent qualification or unit that is requested for direct entry or unit exemption. So you need to complete that appendix for all the units or for a particular unit. Okay, so this is just a sample that I am showing. Now, here are some implications if a center does not follow the direct entry or exemption guideline. Firstly, now inconsistent academic standards. Okay, this will happen when, now in some cases, students who do not possess the necessary knowledge or competencies may receive entry or exemptions, which can result in academic gaps and challenges, okay, in more advanced courses. Okay, so this is what we want to avoid, okay, inconsistent academic standards. Secondly, okay, unqualified students advancing. So students lacking the appropriate qualifications or experience may be permitted to bypass essential modules or courses. Now, this could lead to underperformance or failure in later stages, resulting in increased failure rates and decreased student satisfaction. Thirdly, accreditation and compliance issue. Now, failure to comply with established guidelines can result in accreditation issues, particularly if external auditors or regulatory bodies determine that the center is not following the required academic policies. Now, this may lead to penalties, loss of accreditation, or the center being subjected to review. Okay, so this is something that we want to avoid. Okay, we want to avoid, okay, penalties being imposed on the center, loss of accreditation, or the center being placed under review. Now, another reason would be the increased dropout rates. So unprepared students who are granted exemptions without adequate vetting may find it difficult to keep up with the curriculum. This can result in frustration, disengagement, and a higher dropout rate, ultimately impacting the center's retention rates and performance metrics. Next, it causes reputational damage. Now, if it becomes known that the center does not uphold strict adherence, okay, uh, strict academic standards or mismanages exemptions, it could damage the reputation of the center with prospective students and academic bodies or institutions. Okay, and finally, increased workload for academic staff. So here, academic staff may have to allocate additional time to provide remedial support for students who were improperly exempted from prerequisite courses, increasing their workload and diverting resources from other academic and administrative duties. Now, for further information, okay, for further information on direct entry and exemptions, now you may drop me an email. Okay, so this is my email address, anthony.cross@nccedu.com. Okay, you can log into our website and you can download the latest, okay, direct entry and exemptions document. Okay, so if any students come with that qualification, now all you need to do is just forward the document to me, okay, and then it will be instantly approved. Yeah, so thank you for your participation in today's webinar. I will now answer any queries you may have, and please type your questions on the chat box. Any questions? Any direct entry route to level 5? Yes. Okay. There are direct entry routes to level 5. But what you will need to do is download that document. Okay. And in that direct entry and exemptions document, there will be a list of qualifications that we have already mapped. Okay. And those students with those qualifications will then be accepted, okay, for direct entry into level 5. Okay. Direct entry into level 5. And we also have mapped uh, for direct entry into level 6, okay, like the UCLAN program, okay, the UCLAN uh, for the BCIS and also the cybersecurity. So students who have that qualification, okay, in level 4, level 5, now these students will be accepted for direct entry into the top up, okay, or level 6. Okay, so to answer your question, whether there are any direct entry to level 5, yes. So what you need to do is, again, download the document, okay, and you will be able to see all the list of all the qualifications. Any other questions? No questions? That's good. So if there are no questions, thank you so much for attending. Okay, there's one. Can students having their bachelor's program get a direct entry to UCLAN? Now, again, you need to check that document to see if the bachelor's program is accepted for direct entry into UCLAN. Now, if it is not listed, okay, if the bachelor's program is not listed in that document, then what the center would need to do is the center would need to complete the level 4 and level 5 direct entry and exemptions document, okay, together with all the supporting documents which I've discussed. Okay, send it to me, and this will be then checked and verified. If, okay, it meets, okay, if it meets all the units in level 4 and level 5, okay, that means the learning outcomes have been covered in level 4 for all the units and in level 5 for all the units, then the students will be granted direct entry into the final year. Okay, that is to the BCIS UCLAN program or the cybersecurity program. Yeah. So if you don't see the university or the program in that list, then you will need to complete the direct entry and exemptions document for level 4 and level 5. So I hope I've answered your question. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for attending today's webinar. If you have any questions, you can always drop me an email, okay, like you always do, and I will attend to all your queries and your answers. Manal, if you want the slides, just drop me an email and then I will share the slides to you. Yeah. So it's a bit difficult. So please do send me an email. Just drop me an email and then I will send the slides individually. Yes, for the recording. Now I will need to check with the administrator, okay, because it takes a few days for the recording to be sent to me. Now, if you need the recording, again, just drop me an email. But the recording, I can only send it via a shared folder. I cannot send it on by email because it okay, the size of the file will be too large. Okay, so it gets rejected. So what I will do is I will send it individually to the center, but you will need to send me an email. Drop me an email and I will do so. Yeah. So have a good day. Thank you so much. Until we meet for the next webinar, which will be in the month of October. Bye.